Hello, folks, and welcome to your WYDOT weather briefing on this Monday afternoon, the 16th of November. I'm Dave, weather meteorologist, Ark Huer. The big question continues to be is when will the wind end here across Wyoming? The open-ended answer is April, but a more specific answer will be late tomorrow into Wednesday. In the meantime, though, 60-plus mile-per-hour gusts redeveloping in several areas over the course of tonight into Tuesday. Not as windy Wednesday, but colder with a little snow. I have a fast moving cold front moving through. Then in the longer term, up and down temperatures and mostly dry conditions will be found here across Wyoming late this week into the weekend. Here we've got a 500 millibar weather chart showing us the equal lines of pressure and the overall troughs and ridges across the United States and the North America region. We have Wyoming right there. Trough digging into the Pacific Northwest. That's our next weather maker as we get into late tomorrow into Wednesday. Currently, we have very mild ridge of high pressure, then that trough off to the east. And we are seeing still some strong and gusty winds here across Wyoming because of a pressure and temperature gradient. This time of the year, we get temperature gradients due to big swings between higher and lower elevations, and then the pressure gradient has weakened some across Wyoming. That's evident by these black lines, the equal lines of pressure not being stacked so closely over Wyoming. But this cold front that's going to be pushing east come late tonight and tomorrow, going to bring a very tight pressure and temperature gradient. Also, strong jet stream here across the region, and that's going to equate to another high wind event across many areas of Wyoming late tonight into Tuesday. And this is our 500 millibar model for Wednesday morning. You can see we've got a trough and a low pressure system here up over southern Canada. Powerful jet stream coming from the northwest to the southeast across Wyoming, the Inter-Rocky Mountain West. We have a strong pressure gradient on Wednesday morning, but with cold air at the surface, as we work our way through the day Wednesday, the high winds of late tonight into Tuesday will actually start to subside some. The cold air we'll see on Wednesday, temperatures anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees below average, so highs generally in the 30s across lower elevations, is heavier and denser and harder to move around. So less wind on Wednesday, but late tonight through tomorrow with this weather system coming through, we'll again see some widespread 60-plus mile-per-hour gusts in wind-prone areas. We'll talk about that and more in just a minute. Then as we get into late this week, going to be looking at more of a zonal west to east flow. This low pressure system and trough will track off to the northeast, and we'll see the jet stream flatten and bring us a pretty well of a west to east zonal flow Thursday into Friday. And that means milder temperatures again, mostly dry conditions, and also just a little bit of wind mainly for our wind prone areas late this week. Here in the short term, overnight tonight, we have this increasing area of strong and gusty winds again, especially after midnight. Currently, though, South Pass is still seeing some strong and gusty winds and have seen winds pick up some 60-plus mile-per-hour gusts on South Pass. Otherwise, winds through this evening and early tonight, not bad, but overnight, wind-prone areas, 50 to 65 mile-per-hour gusts, again likely, especially I-80, Cheyenne to Laramie, Laramie to Rawlins, but possibly also up towards the Casper to Casey area. And overnight tonight, we'll be looking at a high wind event in the Bighorns and sections of I-90 on the eastern slopes of the Bighorns, as well as the west side of the Bighorn Basin, Wyoming 120 and adjacent roads here in northwestern Wyoming, looking at gusts of 40 to 65 miles an hour overnight tonight through early Tuesday morning. Otherwise, breezy to strong winds around the state, no impacts, with a little bit of some developing light snow and snow shower activity in the northwest, just enough to possibly slick up roadways, higher elevation roadways of Teton and Togety passes late tonight with a trace to 1 inch. Now for Tuesday. High wind event expands, unfortunately, across much of central and pretty much all of southern Wyoming. Early AM to late afternoon, west to southwest winds anywhere from 20 to 40 miles an hour with gusts of 45 to 60 miles an hour likely late in the AM and also afternoon hours through much of the area, and 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts will be a threat. I-80 Cheyenne to Rawlins, and also I-25 from about Cheyenne north to Douglas. Possibly could be looking at 60 mile per hour gusts in and around the Casper area. Likewise, still South Pass. Then the early AM 60 plus mile per hour gusts in the wind prone areas of the Bighorns, northern I-90, west side of the Bighorn Basin. But winds up here in these locations will be decreasing through the mid morning hours. A little bit more in the way of some light snow and snow shower activity with the cold front and trough moving through. It stays light, trace to 1 inch. Slick and icy spots, again, mainly higher elevation roads, and that holds true through the Bighorns and also the Wind Rivers, Togety, and Teton passes. A little bit of light snow down here in the southern mountains as well. Otherwise, mostly dry here Tuesday. Still mild as well outside the far west and northwest with some widespread strong winds in that 40 mile per hour range across much of northeastern Wyoming and the non-shaded areas. So what do specific travel impacts look like for tomorrow? Red shaded areas on Tuesday hold an extreme blowover risk here across I-25, I-80 South Pass and adjacent roads in south central and southeastern Wyoming. It'll last through the late afternoon hours. Up here in northern I-90 and I-25, and then the west side of the Bighorns and through the Bighorns themselves, early AM hours up through about 10 a.m. an extreme blowover risk from west to southwest winds, and then a little bit of some slick and icy road conditions a possibility, mainly across higher elevations in our western and northwestern mountains for your Tuesday. Otherwise, dry to mostly dry and breezy to strong winds with little to no impacts for the green shaded area. Thanks for watching and have a great afternoon.